This white-colored people that were exploring the coast, and when word got in that they were near some coastal area, invited them to visit Benin. And the impression of Benin that was given at the time was of this fantastic empire that had great big boulevards, very big avenues, and were actually lit at night. They had street lights, they had lamps, oil lamps actually used to light the streets at night. And the halls were massive, big halls, which you compare to other halls in Europe. The buildings were built in timber, but were wrapped with copper and bronze. So they had fantastic impression. They left a fantastic impression of this great civilization that was Benin. So they went back and told tales of this splendorous empire in Africa, and essentially everybody wanted to visit this kingdom. So the first contact was in 1845, Portuguese, and within that time and several years after, there was contact with both sides. The Benin princes that were sent to Lisbon and vice versa. So there was a very healthy relationship between the Benin and the Portuguese. Then came the British explorers in 1553. Records show that the Dutch made contact in around 1668. And throughout all this period, trade was established. Benin being famous for ivory, palm oil, and lots of other raw materials. But eventually, obviously, because the Portuguese, with their partners, the Spanish, had discovered islands in the New World, America, and they needed manpower to work the land. Negotiation went into slavery. So way back then, slavery was established. So the Benin Kingdom was the major slave kingdom, trading country or empire. Shows you, the map still shows you stuff like where things came from, where things went out, what came and what went out. But primarily, from Europe we got industrial gin, glass beads, manilas, guns, cowries. And then things were exported with palm oil, ivory, gold, rubber, and slaves. And means of the things, which I can't list out here. But note that this is illicit gin. But this is not illicit gin, so it's industrial gin. This is gin that shock people, that not good senses. And if you imagine, if you collect that, well, that's another story. I was going to point out about the opium war in China. How opium was used to subdue peoples. But I think the gin probably came later. The early trade would have been purely innocent. Now, so the transatlantic slave trade essentially started around all the way back in the 15th century. And as we know, it went on into the 19th century. So we're talking about over 400 years of slavery. 400 years of capturing people and keeping them under the most brutal conditions and shipping them out of the country or out of their homes to faraway countries all over the world. And basically the currency also that was used to transact this business was highly flawed right from the beginning, because the Portuguese came and saw that the Benin kings wore these brass bangles, the manilas, and went back home and set up foundries and to mass produce manilas. And over time, they devalued, because this was the means of trade. Over time, the currency was devalued, which is essentially still going on today. I mean, valuation of the naira and all currencies basically. So you can see how the original size of the African king the Portuguese, the French, the British, and the British size of manila. Next was the cowries. Cowries were a nice little owayo, a nice shiny little bead seashells, which were used as exchange at the time. Let's not forget, these were brought in by seafaring men. I mean, these were sailors from all over the world, had been all over the world. And these guys stopped at Maldives, where cowries were all over the beaches. I mean, you could pick up cowries off the beach. You can just scoop on the sand and there's a whole handful of cowries. So something that was easily or freely obtained was used as currency to buy human life and all the other artifacts. So right from the beginning there was a trade imbalance. Thus value, the cowrie was purely cosmetic, was used purely for cosmetic purposes and had no